I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, December 11th, coming to you from the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. And we haven't walked ourselves to death today, but sure got double our step count in for the day. And what a day to break in a new pair of boots. But got my good friend here, Steve Hashey. He's holding the light for me because this place is a dungeon and you can't get much light pumped in here. But anyway, we're going to get on here with this abbreviated feeder flash, and the feeders are fading a little bit. We've got big runs first part of the week, especially in the southern plains, Joplin, Oklahoma City. Expecting a big run here on Wednesday from OKC West and El Reno, but just a lot of calves moving, big calves, and a lot of them are weaned for a good amount of time, so they'll be decent feeders, but still just sheer numbers are just clogging things up. You know, we were kind of set back a month there because of that fire in Holcomb, Kansas. The guys feeling comfortable marketing their feeder cattle. So now we're still trying to get rid of them, and we're almost here to the Christmas break. Got one more week of pretty much full bore marketing, and then we're going to be shut down for 2 weeks. So we've got to go ahead and get them moved, but a lot of numbers moving, big runs. We've got limited pen space continuing to be a problem all over the country, but mainly in the southern plains. Kansas they've got cattle pinned up everywhere. Just in the alleys, any place that they can put cattle and hold them till they can shake some things loose. And I think it's going to hurt our fat cattle market a little bit this week just because of that, because guys are wanting to shake a little bit of cattle loose and free up some pen space. But and your fats appear to be fading. They're trying to hold steady, but the guys aren't holding in there very tough this week. Let's look at the board on Tuesday. December live cattle futures down 30 cents at 119.87, and we've got some basis jumpers, but we still got a negative basis. I can see them jumping the basis if we had $1.20, but we don't have $1.20. February down 17 at 124.57. January feeder cattle up 12 cents. Your feeder cattle futures are just not doing hardly anything, and your cash feeder cattle are kind of fading to meet your board. But March feeder cattle up a quarter at 142.52. Your fat cattle trade did kind of start to trickle a little bit this week. We heard some reports fairly early in the morning of some guys caving in Kansas at $1.18. Now, did hear from private sources that they're pretty plain kind of cattle. Of course, your packers are always looking to establish a market on plain cattle if they can at a lower price. But $1.18 was buying a few plain cattle, not a swinging gates type trade, but maybe 1,000, 1,100 head here and there. And the guys figuring they'd get as close on a tight basis as they can, but the board's still about $2 higher than that, so that's $2 they're going to have to take off on their hedges. Maybe a little 119 and a few sweet spots in Kansas, but very limited trade. Had a few sales in Iowa at 119. That was confirmed. Haven't seen any dress sales really to speak of yet though. Texas, of course, it doesn't print on the USDA reports because of confidentiality, but did hear from private sources that they had 118 bid and passed. Box beef cutout values sharply lower again, and we're continuing to see that fade, but we're also seeing that choice select spread get tighter. Choice cuts on Tuesday afternoon, 221.49 down $2.15. Select cuts 205.35 down just 114. That's tightening that choice select spread to just over $16, and that's the narrowest it's been in quite some time. Talked about your feeder cattle being lower. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central late in the afternoon on Tuesday at 142.01, down 98 cents just on one day on Tuesday, and some pretty good markets in there too. So it's just getting harder to sell these feeder calves because we've got so many of them out there and few places to put them. But I did come up with a few top quotes there. Atkinson Livestock Market, Atkinson, Nebraska. That's a Highway 20 sale there on the Yellow Brick Road. 53 head of 480-pound steers, bring 187.75. That doesn't sound much cheaper. Kimball Livestock Exchange, Kimball, South Dakota. 80 head of 592-pound steers bring $164. That's a pretty good quote on some steers that basically weigh 600 pounds. But our best yearling quote comes out of a place you normally wouldn't see it, but I tell you what, they're selling them in the Oklahoma Panhandle, Beaver County stockyards. Look at these loads of yearling steers right there, and a good sale at Beaver, Oklahoma there. And including in these load lots, look through there, you see 60 head of 899-pound steers, 900-pounders at $146.85. They had another load of light 8s at $149.10. That's your feeder flash for Wednesday.